As a member of the education board, you've mentioned a lot of things about creativity, continuous learning, lifelong learning, and all of these things put together. You started your education back in Cameroon, and today we are questioning 63 years of its educational system that has lasted that long. Mm-hmm. And today we are providing an alternative to Ambazonia, because why do you think that we need an alternative in Ambazonia, despite this one being there for 63 years? And you've passed through that same educational system. Why do you think we need an alternative?
Okay, I will start with the system of education in current Cameroon is memorization. You did talk a little bit about that fact. Memorization. When I did my nursing from Cameroon and I reached the US here, I had to retrain myself to take their board exam. It will not work by me just memorizing things that you just memorize and you go and you pass an exam. That is a system that I was training, and that really needs to change. We want to get a new system where students are encouraged to be creative, think outside the box, come up with ideas, not just memorize what somebody else told you, some colonial history, the history of the Queen, which has nothing very much to do with you, but something that has to do with you, with your own country, your own heroes, your own, how did your country come about? We're not going to just memorize all of the things. We want creativity. We're going to want to have an educational system where we are teaching these children to have skills. One of the things that has constantly been mistaken, even till today, even those back at home, those in the diaspora, is we keep thinking education is just about going to school and getting some degree and coming out with a degree. What do we see? All our brothers, our cousins, our nephews here at home, they have degrees. They're still sitting at home in the current Cameroon. But these people, if they are taught to have some form of skills, can be able to build a system or an economy that can even encourage other people to create some jobs, that can create other jobs for other people. The current system of Cameroon doesn't encourage that. There's nothing like skill. Everybody's going to school, hoping to get a O level, hoping to get an A level, and hoping to come out and work in the government. If you interview any student back in Cameroon, you say, what is your plan? I'm hoping that when I finish school, I'll be hired by the government. Our current system that we want to encourage in the Ambazonian education system will be the system where you are not looking at the government. You are looking at creating some skill that you will come out and you can, if the government doesn't get you, fine, you can create something. And from that creation, you can create something for other people. Okay. I will give this example again about, let's say me and some other person went to the embassy. I'm going back to when we go back to the embassy. The person went to University of Yaoundé or University of Boya, and they did whatever they did there. And I came just with high school education, and I did braiding while I was in Cameroon. That is what I learned. I did braiding, and I just finished high school. Two of us go to the embassy. They give us a visa, and we come to the US. Who do you think is going to survive the US system? The lady who did the braiding.
That's right.
She's just going to come in, start doing her braiding, making her money, and surviving and paying for further education. Unlike you who went to Guakele or whatever that school is called and come over here, you're starting from square one, no skill, nothing. Our system that we want to encourage in the Ambazonia education system would be creativity, skills. I'm still going to talk about more morality, values, culture. We'll talk all about those things. That is what education is about.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mabia. That was a very succinct response to that question. And I'm sure that those that are watching us have learned a lot from what you've said. And I will bring back that same question to you, Mr. Chairman of the Education Board. Mabia has mentioned a lot of criteria to which this was developed, the motivation behind this. But then, what the Ambazonia education curriculum, how was it developed? How did you come about this? If you said you didn't, copy what La Republique has been giving us for the last 63 years, how did you guys come up with a new, a completely different educational system, a new system? Give us, please talk to Ambazonians how this came about.
Thank you, PS. Once again, dear Ambazonian people, dear people of the world, good heart people. For 63 years, the educational system that was dished down to the construct called Cameroon, the then construct called Cameroon, was I call it a colonial education. It was colonial education that was meant for them to like Ansons just rightly said, it was geared towards employment. You get that education. You are looking at employment. You're looking for and the only employment as we know when we were growing up was the state and CDC, so to speak. All of them are government. One is parastesta and the government institution. And so a good number of people who came out of school, imagine how many people that the universities and high schools graduate every year. And so the government cannot employ all of those people. CDC cannot employ all of those people. And so the unemployment rate is getting higher and higher. And people go study. Women sell their craft, sell their plums, sell stuff, send children to school with the hope that they will come back. But when they finish school, they come back and they are looking at their mothers. So we looked at all that. We have gone through all of that. And so when we started this struggle, we said we don't want to continue in this La Republique educational system, which is a colonial educational system. We looked at different educational systems in the world. How did the educational systems in the world are operated? We looked at Japan. We looked at Swedish. We looked at the American. We looked at the German system of education. We discovered, and we looked at South Africa and other nations. We looked at it and we saw that they are geared towards vocation and skill that helps in nation building. And so we pick from Sweden, we pick from Germany, we pick from different countries, and we sat down to build the curriculum that we have with in mind that we want to build skills and vocation. That while you from kindergartens, you start learning a skill. Be it catering, you start learning it from kindergartens. We see that in Chinese school. We see that in Japanese schools. Children from tender age, they start a vocation, they start a trade, they start a skill. And by the time they are graduating from university, with some other knowledge, they have something in their hands. Like Mabia said,
Beautiful. Thank you very much. I love the way you ended that. It's one of the best which Africa has, and I love that because we are nothing but the best. Okay.